Hello everyone, myself Chaitanya VS, studying in Electronics and Communication Department. Today I am here to explain about the vestigial sideband modulation in television broadcast. Let's we know the introduction to vestigial sideband modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation is a modulation technique used in television broadcasting. Vestigial sideband modulation allows for efficient use of bandwidth and reduction of interference. Vestigial sideband modulation is widely used in digital television systems. In this picture, we can see the vestigial sideband modulation, SSB signal and VSB signal and message signal. Next, we can see the overview of television broadcasting. Television broadcasting is the transmission of audio and video signals to a large audience. The frequency spectrum is divided into channels for different stations. Modulation techniques are used to transmit the audio and video signals. Let's be understanding the sideband modulation. Sideband modulation is a technique where the original signal is combined with its upper sidebands and lower sidebands. The upper sidebands and lower sidebands carry the information as the original signal but are shifted in the frequency. This allows for efficient use of bandwidth and transmission of the signals. In this picture, we can see the message signal and carrier signal and also the amplitude modulated signal which generate the waveforms. Next, we go for the exploring vestigial sideband modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation is a special form of sideband modulation used in television broadcasting. It is designed to reduce the bandwidth required for transmitting a television signal. Vestigial sideband modulation uses a filter to suppress one sideband, allowing for more efficient transmission. Let's Next, we are going to discuss about vestigial sideband modulation in analog television broadcasting. Vestigial sideband modulation was widely used in analog television broadcasting systems. The video signals is modulated onto a carrier and the audio signals is modulated onto a subcarrier. Vestigial sideband modulation allows for the transmission of both the video and audio signals within a narrow bandwidth. In this picture, we can see the frequency deviation multiplexing how it works. Let's we go for the digital television broadcasting in vestigial sideband modulation. With the transmission or to digital television, vestigial sideband modulation is still used for transmission. Digital television signals are composed of multiple carriers that carry different data streams. Vestigial sideband modulation is used to modulate these carriers and transmit the digital signal efficiently. Let's we know the benefits of vestigial sideband modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation allows for the efficient use of bandwidth, enabling more channels to be transmitted. Within a given frequency range, it reduces interference from adjacent channels by suppressing one sideband. Vestigial sideband modulation provides better signal quality and reception compared to other modulation techniques. Let's we know the challenges and limitation of vestigial sideband modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation requires precious tuning and synchronization at the receiving end to recover the transmitted signals accurately. It is susceptible to multipath interference where signals reflect off buildings or objects, causing ghosting or signal degradation. Vestigial sideband modulation is not widely used in newer digital television standards such as DVB-T2 or ATSC 3.0. Let's we know the advantages of vestigial sideband modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation is a highly efficient and it reduction in bandwidth. Vestigial sideband modulation filter design is easy as high accuracy is not needed. Now, and next point is the transmission of low frequency components is possible without difficulty. Next point is possess good phase characteristics. Next, we know the disadvantages of vestigial sideband modulation. Vestigial sideband modulation of the bandwidth when compared to sideband modulation is greater and the demodulation is complex. Next, the applications of vestigial sideband modulation. First point is the most prominent and standard. application of vestigial sideband is for the transmission of television signals. Also, this is the most convenient and efficient technique when bandwidth usage is considered. Next, we can see the applications of in how we can apply the future applications. Vestigial sideband modulation continues to evolve and adapt to emerging technologies and consumer demands. It can support the transmission of ultra-high definition content, providing an even more immersive viewing experiences. Additionally, vestigial sideband modulation can be utilized for mobile television broadcasting, enabling viewers to enjoy their favorite shows on their smartphones and tablets. Next, the conclusion of vestigial sideband modulation in television broadcast. Vestigial sideband modulation is a modulation technique used in television broadcasting. Vestigial sideband modulation allows for efficient use of bandwidth and reduction of interference. Although not widely used in never digital television standards, vestigial sideband modulation played a significant role in analog television transmission. In this vestigial sideband transmits upper sideband or lower sideband and vestige of the other sidebands. Vestigial sideband reduces bandwidth by roughly a factor of 2. Vestigial sideband generated using standard amplitude modulation or double sideband suppressed carrier modulation, then filtering. Vestigial sideband of standard amplitude modulation or double sideband suppressive carrier demodulation. Vestigial sideband modulation used for image transmission in TV signals. Thank you for watching.